Good afternoon, welcome to Turbo Tortoise Tech. If you're new here, my name is Reese 4Ps from KFC or Wookie Triple XL, and I'm back with another GMMK review. So previously, earlier in the week, I had reviewed this 61 key over here, and it's pretty damn good. I was very much happy with the build quality and the materials used and the removable keycaps and the removable switches, and this 61 or this 10 keyless over here is no different there. But when I took it out, I immediately noticed, well, I thought that this one was actually lighter than this keyboard. And I thought, hang on a tick, have they used the exact same amount of materials for these keyboards? And it looks like they have. Because they're all coming through at the same price of 1,700 Rand for the base kit for this modular system that they've created, I thought, there's physically less keyboard, how can you charge the same amount of money? But there actually isn't. So I whipped out the old kitchen scale, and basically what I found with the reliability and accuracy of a kitchen scale was they're almost gram for gram identical in weight. The package that they come with is also pretty much identical. You get a Windows key replacement with the Glorious Man logo on it. You get an escape key instead of the Ascend key, which is fully painted, so you don't get any RGB shining through that. And it's a nice little accent to have there. It's orange and it's in the brand thing, which I give big plus ticks for, but the escape key just looks better because it's at least see-through. On the bottom, it's more of the same, except that there is a slight built-in curve on this guy versus the 10 keyless, which is completely flat, or the 61% is completely flat. The TKL has a slight curve built into it, which was interesting. So it does sit slightly differently. They actually are very different in height. If I put them right next to each other, then the 10 keyless is noticeably lower than the other one, but I'm a kickstand kind of guy, so I was using it in that format, which then makes them pretty similar. If I put up the kickstands, then their base deck is like, what, 3 mils different in height, so the typing area then effectively becomes kind of the same anyway. So they're similar-ish. It's similar enough that if your intent is to use them like that, there won't be a real difference. But flat, this one is noticeably higher, to take note of that. Also, when they are similar, key remover put into the back over here, and then you do get 4 spare rubber pads, which is kind of wild because these aren't really going to wear out. You're going to sit them on your, well, you're going to sit it on your desk. It's not like you're sitting there busy throwing your keyboard around as if it was a mouse and there's friction on the skates or on the bottom of the product. So having that is really nicely overkill because they probably not going to wear out for considerable amount of time. I mean, it's rubber and it's sitting still, there's no friction. It's gonna perish before it wears out, in my mind. So maybe keep these in a way that they will not perish in their little baggie like this, so they don't get oxidized. That's about the only thing you could do really to prevent that. But they are intending to have a good amount of longevity on these keyboards because they're giving you all these spares. At least that's the idea. This one also has the Gator and Brown switch. It's really not a bad switch. Honestly, I do feel a difference versus Cherry MX Red. There is a noticeable difference, and it's on an audio test. You can hear they're not exactly the quietest keycap, as when it hits the bottom, there is a noticeable clack. It's the same on the TKL, they'll kind of have the same kind of sound. And similarly to the 61 key, I keep going TKL, 61 key between the two. You know what I'm talking about, I hope. 61 key, TKL, still no function keys printed on the things. Get out of here, Glorious, come on, man, come on. However, I did figure out what was going on with the software and how to get it to do macros, and it works as well on this, it does work. You got to take it out of LED mode and changing that and just turn that off, and then you can assign the macros to the keys, and they do work. And the macro recorder is pretty straightforward. You just click record, throw in your key presses that you want, and click save. You can edit the delay between the keys as well. You can have that both in or out, so you can do it on a delay. So if you wanted to have like a 10-hit combo in Tekken, technically you could put it all on one key with the delays that you need. And you'd be able to just press that and then cheat. So my WoW community, and so maybe some MOBA community, and maybe some FPS community, and people that are generally lazy and don't want to put in the extra effort to do things properly, this keyboard will allow you to do that. Similarly, the cable, 1.8 meter, well, it's 1.83, it's literally 183 centimeters. It's a proper 6-foot cable. They did it literally to the millimeter, which I just my OCD is having a good time with that. The one other thing about the TKL is because it's just a little bit more space, they've moved the caps lock notification light from the outside to the inside on this one, which is fine. They've also moved the positioning of the micro USB, and this is something I actually really like, that it comes out of the center of the keyboard over here. It's got very good positive sort of connection as well. So if I connect this over here, you'll notice that it's strong enough that the cable's not going to just fall out when it's sitting on your desk. It feels really good. It's got some input and some output to give on that. And centralizing it, putting it in the middle over here, is just so much better for the desk space than having it all the way on the top left. That's only, now that I've used this one. Sorry, Hadidar Abbas decided to make a cameo into my video. So now that I've used it with it in the center, it being further on the left, my PC is set up on the right hand side, so it's just that much further away. Not a deal breaker by any means, it is just nicer to have it in the center. What I do like though is how similar these guys are in their look and feel and their key covers themselves. These are some of the nicest keycaps I've ever used on a keyboard, to be very honest with you. The white with the LED is absolutely incredible. This is the best, brightest, most powerful LED I've ever experienced, and their ripple effect is so soothing. It might as well be Kenny G sprinkled across a babbling brook with a hint of lemon. Once again, fully customizable as well. You just can do pretty much anything you want to. If you want to change out for black keycaps, you can. It'll change the entire look of the feel of this keyboard. If you want Cherry MX Reds, you can get those keycaps. Not just yet at Evetech. We do have Gator-in Reds over at Evetech, so Uncle Evetech will be able to sort you out with that, no problem. And there are some blues if you really enjoy annoying people while you type. All around, I have to say, I'm having a really good time with these keyboards. This almost more than likely will be my next keyboard, because if anything breaks, the control board is still there, the LEDs will still be there, the keys themselves are the replaceable. I mean, it's like 300 Rand for an entire new set worth of keys. That's like not a lot of money if you consider it over a long period of time. My current keyboard is starting to give way after about 2 years worth of usage. I'm very heavy on keyboards. I type a lot. I sit and do editing on it. Literally my Control and S is worn out from how many times I spam Control S, because Adobe things. You never know when it's just going to decide to throw your whole project and everything you've been working out the window, and 2 hours worth of work goes down the drain. So you spam that Control S, but in spamming those keys, they have worn out. I can't get a new set of keycaps for that keyboard. It's a good old Cooler Master MK730, really nice keyboard, but it's 1,900 Rand and I can't get any spares for it. Whereas for this, my keys are worn out, just buy a new key set for 500 bucks and carry on using it. So now I don't have to replace an entire 1,900 Rand keyboard. I can just redo what I've got here. So imagine after 2 years, you get a new mechanical keyboard for 800 bucks, keycaps and keys. That's a really clever system. It's a much better way of doing things. And then I can, if I don't like Gatorins, I can swap out for Cherry MX. If I don't like that, there are some other brand. I don't remember the name because it's like some obscure thing. Maybe it's a good key. I have no idea. Don't pin me to a stake. All I know is you can get Gatorins, you can get Cherry MX. Those are the two ones that generally you want to have. They feel pretty damn good. These browns, nothing wrong with them, but they could have been reds. Glorious, another. Still, I think these products are super solid. I will reassess what I threw out the last week, where I gave it an 8 out of 10. That was because of the software problems, which are more my problems. The software is still pretty clunky. It could do with a bit of a refresh. The mouse software was way better for the Model O wireless, and even that was somewhat simplistic. So yeah, if you guys could just pump the game up just a little bit on the look and feel of the program. The program itself works pretty well, but it doesn't make me feel like Glorious PCMR. It makes, well, maybe that software came from Windows XP. Anyway, that is all I have for you in this review. I do have another one to do, which I hope will be out tomorrow. If I don't faff too much, it should be. These things are absolutely fantastic. Like I said, the RGB on this is astronomically out of this world and quite a lot of fun, and it's just a really nice keyboard. I think Glorious is hitting the right tone at the right time. They're giving us creativity, imagination capacity, and all within a branded suite of products. So I hope that it gets quite broad. I understand as a company it's difficult to support a very broad product range, but with what you're trying to do here, it just seems like more is better. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, please do hit us up with a like and subscribe. Every little bit helps. And I will see you on the flip side. Help if I didn't just leave the poor microphone dangling there like Scar off the edge of the cliff, right?
Help me! Long live the king!